3 in the morning. You're awake, not because you want to be, because your brain won't shut up. What if your car dies tomorrow? What if your boss calls you into that meeting? What if your dog needs surgery and the vet bill is $2,000? Here's the thing nobody tells you. There's a specific number that makes all of that noise go quiet. And it's not 100,000, it's not a million, it's $10,000, just 10 grand. And once you understand why this number is so dangerous to the finance industry, you'll never look at your bank account the same way again. Stick around because I'm about to break down the 3 invisible switches that flip in your brain the moment you hit this number. And the third one, that's the one that actually makes you rich. Most people think financial freedom starts when you can buy a Lambo or retire on a beach. That's a lie they sell you so you stay stressed and keep clicking their get-rich-quick courses. Real financial freedom doesn't start with $1 million, it starts with 10,000. Because 10,000 isn't just money sitting in a bank, it's a psychological weapon. Let me prove it. Right now, if you have less than 10,000 saved, your brain is running in survival mode. This isn't a metaphor. Harvard researchers proved that financial stress literally shrinks your IQ. When you're worried about rent, your brain can't think about starting a business. When you're calculating if you can afford gas, you can't calculate your next career move. You're not dumb, you're just exhausted. Your brain is spending all its power putting out tiny fires. There's no energy left to build something. But here's where it gets crazy. This doesn't fix itself slowly, it fixes itself instantly. The moment your savings cross 5 figures, your brain changes channels from survival mode to growth mode. And that one switch is worth more than any stock tip you'll ever get. Let me show you the first invisible switch, risk. Right now, everything feels dangerous. Changing jobs feels dangerous. Moving cities feels dangerous. Asking for a raise feels dangerous because you know that one wrong move and you're eating peanut butter for dinner for 3 weeks. But when you have $10,000, risk doesn't disappear. You just stop being scared of it. You're not going to quit your job and move to Bali, but you will finally ask for that promotion you've been thinking about for 6 months. You'll take the certification course that costs $2,000 up front but boosts your salary by $10,000 a year. Without savings, that course is impossible. With your financial foundation, it's an obvious investment. Why? Because you have runway. 10,000 gives you roughly 3 to 6 months of breathing room. And when you're not desperate, people can smell it. Your boss can smell it. Recruiters can smell it. Desperation makes you accept garbage offers. Optionality makes you negotiate like you already have what they want. That energy alone can bump your salary by 10, 20, 30%. And that raise didn't come from a YouTube finance trick. It came from having 10 grand in the bank. Now the second switch, decision fatigue. Every day, you make about 200 tiny money decisions. Should I buy the name brand cereal or stick with the generic version that tastes like cardboard? Can I afford to grab lunch today or should I pack a sandwich? My friends want to go out to dinner, but can I admit that $25 for a meal would mess up my entire budget? Each one is tiny, but together they drain your battery before lunch. This is why broke people aren't bad with money, they're just tired. Their brain is a smartphone running on 5% all day. But when you hit 10,000, something wild happens. 90% of those micro decisions vanish. You're not standing in aisle 3 doing mental math about cereal. You're just buying what you actually want. Not because you're reckless, because the math is no longer relevant. That mental energy you just got back, you can now use it to learn a new skill, fix your resume, or actually pay attention during a meeting instead of secretly calculating if you can afford your phone bill. This is the real superpower. It's not the money, it's the brain space. And now, the third switch, the one nobody talks about, identity. Before 10,000, you are a person who spends money. After 10,000, you become a person who keeps money. That sounds like a small difference. It is not. It is the entire game. When you see yourself as someone who saves, your behavior changes without forcing it. You don't need budgeting apps screaming at you. You don't need to cut up credit cards. You just start noticing things differently. Oh, I could negotiate this bill. Oh, I could sell this thing I don't use. Oh, I don't actually want that. The desire changes because your self-image changed. And here's the beautiful part. The first 1,000 is brutal. The second 1,000 is hard. But by the time you're hitting 5, 6, 7,000, it gets easier because you're not fighting yourself anymore. You're just being yourself, the person who keeps money. But I need to warn you about something. There is a trap that destroys almost everyone who hits this milestone. They feel good, they feel safe, and they immediately spend it. They buy the car, they take the trip, they upgrade the apartment because they think 10,000 is the finish line. It is not the finish line. It is the starting line. 10,000 is not a trophy. It's a launch pad. And if you blow your launch pad on a better couch, you just reset the entire game. Listen carefully. The average person spends $3,000 a year on coffee, takeout, and random subscriptions they forgot about. That's not even counting the big stuff. If you redirected just 1/3 of that invisible spending into your future, you'd have your 10,000 in under 3 years without feeling any pain. But most people won't do it, not because they can't, because they still see themselves as someone who spends. Let me hit you with some math that will make you angry. Let's say you save 10,000 and you invest it at 8% a year. In year 1, that money makes $800 while you sleep. That's $67 a month for doing literally nothing. At 50,000, that same rate makes $4,000 a year. At 100,000, it's $8,000 a year. That's $667 a month showing up because your past self was disciplined. The strategy isn't complicated. Buy an index fund, leave it alone. That's it. You don't need a finance degree. You need patience, and patience is free. Here's something that will mess with your head. The person with 10,000 saved is closer to real wealth than the person making 6 figures with 0 in the bank. Every time. Because the saver has the only skill that actually matters, keeping money. You know people like this. They make 40 grand a year, but they have savings. They sleep fine. They take smart risks. Meanwhile, the guy in the luxury car payment is one missed paycheck away from disaster. Income doesn't build wealth. Behavior builds wealth. And 10,000 is the first behavior that proves you can do this. But the craziest part isn't even the money. It's your health. Studies show that people with emergency funds sleep better. They have lower cortisol. They fight less with their partners. Money stress is one of the top causes of divorce. It's not about the cash. It's about the silence in your head at 3 in the morning. That silence is worth everything. So here's what I want you to do. Don't aim for 1 million. Don't aim for 100,000. Aim for 10. Just 10. Open your account. Set up auto transfer. Start with $50 if that's all you have. The amount doesn't matter. The identity does. Because once you cross that line, gravity starts working for you instead of against you. And from there, the next 10 is easier, and the next, and the next. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the number that would make you sleep better at night? Is it 10,000? 5? 20? Drop it in the comments below. And if this video made you think about money differently, hit the like button so more people see it. Subscribe if you want to learn how to go from 10,000 to 100,000 next. Your future self is already thanking you for watching this far. Don't let them down.